Movie footage used in this video is 100% owned by the copyright owners. This channel does not own nor create any of the footage shown and is only used for commentary, comedy, and criticism under fair use. Any footage shown in this video is either from the trailer or screenshots of said movie. Please support this franchise by watching other movies from the copyright holders on streaming services or physical copies, either on Paramount+, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or Apple TV. Now let's get on with the video.
Excited.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video, and today we're gonna be reviewing Scream 6 or 7. Just kidding guys, obviously we're doing Scream 7, and not gonna lie my dudes, this movie kinda... As you can tell from the title of this video, this movie is hella corny. Like while I was watching the movie, I kept telling the screen,
bruv, you're moving mad, bruv. Private jet, bruv. Shut up, bruv.
Like, to be honest, I left the movie theater hella disappointed. Like, ain't no way they made a movie like this. But anyways, the movie starts with this couple arriving at the Scream house, and you already know how this goes. You saw the trailer. Guy gets whacked. Then the girl gets whacked. This whole scene was basically trailer bait. Whatever, Ghostface lights up the house and leaves in a shot that is hella tough, not gonna lie.
That's tough.
Then title card. We meet Sidney Prescott's daughter in their house, and she's just chilling and shit, laying down when her boyfriend comes in through the window and grabs her head in a weird way. Hella sus. They about to start banging, you feel me? Then Sidney Prescott knocks on the door and is like,
What are you doing?
Me? Just hanging around.
Then she tells the boyfriend to get out! Once he leaves, you already know we get the teenage angst scene. Whatever, let's move forward. Sidney goes back to her room where we meet Police Chief Mark, who is played by Joel McHale, who I know as the asshole cook in The Bear, and also the asshole boss in Ted, and also the asshole banker in Spider-Man 2. But most of you guys probably know him from that one show, Community, which I never watched. Overall, pretty valid film career, bro. Skipping over some morning teenage angst, and we follow Sidney over at her coffee shop that she owns, and she's approached by a kid named Lucas, played by Asa German, who I know as Sam from the Boys spin-off show Gen V. And he starts asking Sidney about the events from Scream 6, and his mom Jessica,
and I'm Jessica the coolest,
comes in and smacks him. And whatever, the parents sit down and start talking about their past, and Jessica mentions her ex-husband was abusive or whatever.
Nothing.
Tatum and her friends are practicing for the school theater when the director tells Tatum that she's very lackluster and timid, and he says, quote unquote, "You're Sidney Prescott's daughter. You need to channel some of your mother's fire." Like, bro.
What?
Bro, what do you mean? She's playing a dog with one line, MFAO. Like, damn, bro, who says that and expects to keep a job after that? In the dressing room, Tatum's boyfriend is like, "Let me get some buns." Following back with Sidney, and she gets a particular phone call with the Scream voice, and the voice actually FaceTimes her, where it's revealed that Stu, the killer from the first one, and he's like, "I'm at your daughter's high school right now, come get me." Sidney rushes over there and calls her husband to go as well. Ghostface packs up the rope guy, and Tatum's friend that is hanging from the harness is packed up as well, in a pretty gruesome death. And obviously I can't show any of that because it's kind of crazy, but yeah. The police start sussing out all the kids. Sidney and her husband start talking about AI and defaking, and you know, it's so goofy. Her family gets home and starts packing up to leave when Ghostface drops from the attic, and a hostage situation happens and Mark fights Ghostface. Then Sidney and her daughter go into the safe room and start leaving behind the wall. Why would you leave a safe room like that? Surely there's a phone in the room and you can call the police, right? No? Okay. But yeah, Ghostface starts stabbing through the wall, and you already know this is just trailer bait. Like, come on. The girls escape, and Ghostface comes outside and then gets yeeted by Mark, and both of them start squaring up. Mark then yeets Ghostface on the street, where he gets run over by Gale and the kids, and a fucking Avengers looking at. Bro, I swear, this is like Avengers type shit right here. Like, what's going on? Not traumatizing at all, by the way. Ghostface gets unmasked, and it's revealed that it's the meth head looking guy from the coffee shop. Sydney walks up to the line of people outside the police tape or whatever and starts sussing out everybody, including the theater director guy, who we never see again, by the way, and then Tatum's boyfriend. Stu calls Sydney and Gale. The next morning, Tatum is like, I want to be a fighter. And Sydney is like,
boy, if you don't get...
Like, nah, bruh.
You're a victim.
Gale and Sydney go to the psychiatric hospital where the killer Ghostface escaped from. The nurse guy lets them see Carl's room, and Sydney asks him if Stu was there. And the nurse is like, yeah, that's John Doe, another patient that was released 2 weeks ago. The two kids from the last two movies and Tatum discuss getting all the suspects together and figuring out who's the killer, which is like, really, nigga? That's your plan, bruh?
Shut up, man.
Mark is on the phone when he hears a sound and immediately goes to investigate, like, bro,
You stupid.
if that were me, I'd call in backup, get the kids, then storm that bit with 10 people deep.
FBI, open up!
Bro, why are you even doing that when there's a killer after your family?
Look at this dude.
He finds the tools knocked over when he gets packed up extra deep. We find out later that he survives this, by the way, which I call
Bullshit!
like, how do you survive 6 or 7 stabs to the chest, bruh? And we see him again in the nighttime later on, like,
How? Hold on, bro. How?
you can't survive 6 or 7 hours bleeding out like that, even with body armor, bruh. It's not happening. Alright, so the kids meet up at the bar, and it's Tatum, her boyfriend, the two kids from the last two movies, Tatum's friend, and Lucas, which is that one lady's kid, MFAO.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
And you already know they start talking about nostalgia and extremely meta stuff, basically sussing each other out. Gale and Sydney go to that one reporter studio to do an interview to get Stu to call again and hopefully track him somehow. I'm gonna skip this scene, but I'm gonna mention this reporter guy in the end of the video. But anyways, Stu calls Sydney off the air and tells her he's at the bar where the kids are at, and she leaves. She gets to her car and for whatever reason can't open the door to her car, and she starts booking it when she literally could have asked Gale for a ride since her news van is literally right there.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
And you can't tell me she didn't have their keys. She literally just touched the door and kind of gave up halfway and started leaving. Tatum and her boyfriend start leaving to go to Sydney. When Tatum gets to the car, she sees the deepfake videos her boyfriend was making. Her boyfriend comes in and tries to explain himself but gets one-tapped. Tatum leaves the car and then she sees a ghost face. Back at the bar, that one girl checks on the pizza.
Pizza time.
And Lucas goes to the bathroom. And then the two other kids start to leave, but the door is locked for whatever reason. Ghostface goes after the chick with the pizza, and for some reason she doesn't call out to the other 3 people that are in the same building, nor try to escape through the back door.
You stupid.
They're running around for a little bit when that one kid, Chad, sneaks up on homegirl and somehow, without making a sound or at least calling out to her, and gets stabbed for his stupidity. Ghostface comes up and pushes Chad away and slices up that one other girl with him. And Deadass leaves them both alive for no literal reason. I swear to God, when I seen them alive later on, I got pissed off. Like, bruh, they were literally right there and you didn't kill them?
Fuck you, what do you mean? How? How have you? Ah, man. What, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
Anyways, that one girl escapes and runs into that kid Lucas, and this guy is like,
stand back, I got this.
Like, bro,
you're not that guy, pal, trust me, you're not that guy.
If I were that girl, I would have took a chair to that window real quick. I'm not hanging around for no hero, bro. 3 seconds later, and he comes back with 3 hit markers on his chest, like... She hides from Ghostface for a little bit, but he eventually catches her and eats her into the glass containers. Then drags Lucas, and like, I'm gonna explain how he like kills him or whatever. So like, he picks him up, and then like, you know, like there's a tap thingy, and like it's pretty sharp at the end for whatever reason. And like Ghostface like picks him up and like puts his head where the tap should be, right? Like pokes him in the back of his head. He like props him up there, you know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, the beer ends up coming out of his mouth. And like the shot is so hilarious, but it's so sad that I can't show it. But yeah, it's pretty gruesome. Tatum runs into town and hides from Ghostface, but her boyfriend finds her first somehow, even though Ghostface was right behind her. Mega sus. Her boyfriend says he's not the killer, then Ghostface deadass appears out of nowhere and guts her boyfriend. Tatum then eats Ghostface into the shop, and then Tatum runs to her mom's coffee shops and hides inside while Sydney is still running. And bruh, where's the police at, gang? They were literally called a few scenes ago, and Sydney didn't call them while she was running. Oh my god, this movie, bruh. And bro, this next sequence is deadass the goofiest part of the movie. Like, I was for real questioning the whole movie. Like, it literally pissed me off. So Sydney tells Tatum to grab the gun in her office. Mind you, this whole time Sydney is waiting in the middle of the street.
You stupid.
Like, bro, what are you doing? You're literally watching your daughter barricade herself in your office, getting attacked by Ghostface, and you're just wasting time in the middle of the road. Like, bro, I would have been moving like the Flash. Whole time while I was watching this in the movie theater, I was like,
there's no way out of this one. You're done.
Anyways, Sydney tells Tatum how to use a gun, and she's still in the middle of the street, by the way.
You stupid.
But you already know how this played out. They literally showed this whole thing in the trailer. Tatum lines that hoe up and shoots him down a couple of times, and he's out for the count. Sydney tells him to shoot him in the face, but bro, where are you?
I haven't heard nothing from you, my nigga. Where are you, my nigga? Where are you?
Like, bro, you're literally coming here anyway, so why the fuck you just hanging around?
Just hanging around.
And also, get this, so Tatum removes the barricade that is blocking the door to go double tap Ghostface, which is kind of stupid. I mean, you can just double tap him through the wall or something, or at least wait for your mom to pull up. Tatum is about to put him down, but Ghostface smacks that shit, and they have a little mini fight until another Ghostface appears.
You're done.
Sydney finally shows up, and Ghostface calls her up like,
pull up on me. Pull up on me.
Sydney gets to her house, and we get this little corny scene of AI generated shit. She finds him in the back, and it's revealed that the nurse guy is one of the killers. He only had one scene, by the way. He brings out Mark, who is on 1 HP, which I call
bullshit.
And the second killer is Jessica.
And I'm Jessica the coolest. Peace, y'all.
And she explains that Sydney saved her, yada yada yada.
Who the hell cares?
Like, literally, who cares? You literally had only 2 to 3 scenes before this, so I don't really know you. I'm just gonna fast forward the end of this movie. Sydney one-taps the nurse guy. She has a lame and boring fight with Jessica. Sydney and her daughter both overkill Jessica, and boom, that's the end of the movie. Phew, this movie was bad, but yeah, Mark ends up surviving, even though he should have been to Valhalla by now. And also the twin survives, but I mean, I literally don't care.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
But yeah, my guys, this movie was pretty terrible. From the rush plot to the really dumb and uninteresting characters. This movie was really bad, man. I didn't feel nothing for the characters at all. I mean, the boyfriend character was just a chill guy at the end of the day.
Hey dude, you can't put that there. My house isn't for sale. You gotta get out of here, seriously. Oh, I didn't realize you were chill like that. Sell whatever you want.
And he still ends up getting killed. The twins were boring. At least one of them should have died, to be honest. And everyone else literally had a couple of lines, and that's it. No one acted suspicious at all, so I didn't care if they died. Honestly, I didn't feel Sydney and her daughter were in any real danger, to be honest. And also, this movie should have been 2 hours long to really give the characters more lines / motives. This movie was probably the worst, or at least the second worst movie in the franchise. But hey, that's just my opinion. And it's kind of crazy that I could have written this movie better. Speaking of rewrites, alright my dudes, let's rewrite this movie. I'm not gonna go beat for beat, bar for bar, but we're just gonna tweak the story a little bit. So first off, we're gonna give this movie a longer runtime. To like 15 to 20 minutes longer to really give the characters more screen time and also some longer dialogue scenes. Then we're gonna completely scrap the nurse guy since he didn't really have no motives and only had one scene before he got unalived. And we're gonna replace him with the reporter guy. Hear me out. So like for one, he's always outshined by Gale being the underdog reporter and all. And 2, he can fabricate the murders, basically making up his own stories. And 3, he can be jealous of Gale and Sydney for always getting their attention. And 4, he would obviously get help from a crazed diehard fan like Jessica.
And I'm Jessica the coolest.
Seems kinda perfect, right? I mean, that feels like a better villain than the nurse guy since he's basically the opposite of Gale and stuff. Some ways we can show this is like he can show up right after a bloodbath happens and the reporter being passive aggressive around Gale and Sid. Also, he can interview the kids and make them suss each other out, basically like sowing distrust among them. You know, stuff like that. That's way better than the neighbor Jessica for sure. And you know how these movies, they're always like, you gotta shoot them in the head? Well, this time we're gonna give the Ghostface a lightweight ballistic mask so they can take headshots. You know, like someone can double tap them in the head and they walk off, but then Ghostface gets back up and then us. I know it's weird because they would have a mask over a mask, but it's just so that they won't get murked so easily. So yeah, longer runtime, reporter being the main bad guy, and giving the Ghostface some bullet resistant protection. And while we're at it, let's just murk one of the twins, to be honest. But that's it, my guys. Let me know if I cooked or not in the comments, and in your opinion, how the movie could have been better. Now, what do you guys think about Scream 6 or 7? Like I said in the video, this movie was hella... Like, at least the third Scream didn't feel as rushed as this one was, and you at least got to know the characters a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. I say both of these movies are tied, but I wouldn't mind saying the third one is just a tad better. I went to go watch this movie with my fiance, and the whole time I was just shaking my head.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And after we left the movie, I was just picking apart this movie with my fiance. And come to find out, this movie has a lower Rotten Tomato score than Scream 3, which isn't surprising. The only thing I liked about this movie is how they brought back all the old villains for their little cameos. That must have been a pretty sweet little paycheck for them. But everything else was... like seriously, most of the characters didn't have enough screen time / lines, like... Dang! Anyways, to end this video off, I hope you guys liked the video. Also remember to hit the subscribe button and comment for anything you wanted to point out. Please suggest any movies or animes you would like to see, and if you guys like Dragon Ball, I have a video about Sparkling Zero which did pretty poorly, but
It is what it is.
But yeah, my dudes, I basically wrote the script and edited this video within a week of the movie being out, so it was a fast one, to be honest. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.